What's up guys, Houndish here with a quick Destiny 2 news update, and this one's going to be about some leaked information regarding Destiny 2 that has actually come inside of Edge magazine. I say leaked because this isn't supposed to be released until next week, but a Reddit user, Capoaz or Capowaz, sorry if I butchered your name, has actually received their physical edition of this magazine, and it is a cover story feature for Destiny 2. Edge magazine have done quite a few of these in the past, and there has tended to be some pretty interesting information. So the Reddit user actually breaks down some of the most interesting things that they've learned inside of this magazine issue. Of course, next week we'll actually get the issue, so I'm sure there'll be a bunch of other things we learn as well. But starting out, there will be over 80 missions and PvE activities. Each of them will have a substantial length, challenge, story element, and reward. So that is very, very interesting. There's a lot of content right there. 80 missions and PvE activities. They're not going to be kind of quick, easy things to complete necessarily. They will include a bunch of story, and they will also include, relevant rewards, so that is definitely promising. Another user inside of this thread actually made a comparison to Destiny 1 and said in vanilla Destiny there were 22 story missions at launch, 6 strikes, 7 public events, and 6 patrol missions, making for 41 activities overall, so 80 definitely sounds like a decent upgrade for Destiny 2. Up next, this is really interesting. They said that the beta did not contain the final implementation of energy weapons work against AI combatants with elemental shields. So when the shield of an enemy is depleted, it actually explodes and nukes any enemies that happen to be nearby. So that is very, very interesting. You kind of work that shield down, and when it actually is taken off, it kind of has an explosion or a detonation that does a bunch of bonus damage and can also extend that damage to nearby enemies. And this really makes a lot of sense because the energy weapons were definitely noticeably better at taking down shielded enemies inside of the beta, but considering they have their own kind of ammo economy, they didn't necessarily feel that different to kinetic weapons. You just had to work a tiny bit harder to get that energy ammo. But if we include the ability to actually cause this explosion upon taking the shield off, then that is pretty huge right there, and I'm definitely excited to see that in action. We may get it inside of the PC beta, we may not, we'll have to wait and see. Up next, they said that Nightfall strikes will now have a time limit which actually varies by strike. So the example they gave was a 13-minute strike, so the efficiency and kind of settling on a strategy beforehand will be really, really important to complete these. We've also learned that you will have locked loadouts inside of Nightfall, so this is very, very interesting, having a fixed time per strike. Whether this will change per set of modifiers that you have for the strike, we don't know yet, but this definitely adds a new layer of challenge, if they're kind of locked off at these different individual lengths of time that you have to complete them, and you're locked with your loadouts. So these could be quite a bit more hardcore than what we saw in Destiny 1, and hopefully the rewards will reflect that as well. They added that while they were developing the game, there was so much new content at one point that they realized they had more content than actual progression in the game, but this is something they've subsequently fixed. I guess to a degree, a chunk of your progression does kind of happen later on. You need the content to support that first, but it's definitely promising that they have all of this new content in the game. Obviously, they'll be spending time, up till release and after release, fine-tuning the progression systems and the kind of end game for Destiny 2. The Reddit user added that there were apparently a few other things revealed to the Edge magazine team that they were asked not to actually reveal in their article, and one of them involves the Hunter class, and left the reviewers very happy that that class will shape up well. So that is interesting. It could be changes to the existing Hunter subclasses. It could have been a hint at the third subclass. Obviously, the Nightstalker would completely change the way the Hunter is kind of perceived right now, and would give it that huge support role in PvE content in particular. but that isn't confirmed to actually be happening. They're just giving us a little bit of a hint right there. They added that supers and grenades have also been mentioned, and whilst they do recharge faster than the beta, it seems like they're trying to encourage players to actually recharge them more quickly through aggressive play. And the example given was a Warlock exotic chest that lets you hover in the air, but when you make kills while hovering in the air, it will quickly recharge your grenade. We have seen the Warlock exotic right here that kind of has has wings on it, if they were going to kind of talk about an exotic armor piece, and they've already shown one, this would be my bet for the one that they're actually referring to. So yeah, some really interesting little bits of information right there, guys. We'll have to see, you know, what else we learn next week when the magazine actually drops, or if there are any more kind of leaked bits of information about what is inside of that issue before it actually arrives next week. For now though, that is definitely some interesting stuff to think about. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Let me know any of your thoughts in the comment section. If you did enjoy the video, a like below is very much appreciated. It really helps me out on the channel, guys. If you're new around here, be sure to hit subscribe to see a lot more Destiny 2 content. If you want to save 10% on Control Freaks, or even save 5% on a pre-order of Destiny 2 for PC, then follow the links in the description below. I'm going to stop spamming you now. Thank you for watching and have an awesome day.